deny my right.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not agitating.
This morning, our community continues to mourn the loss of Corey Ruiz. Coming up on Weekend Mornings, how tensions are rising between community members following the deadly police shooting.
And we got nice weather today, but heat and storms on the horizon for Sunday and Monday.
They took my baby from me. I never thought I would have to bury my baby before you buried me.
And family members of Corey Ruiz speak out at a press conference Friday. We'll hear what they had to say. Good morning. You're watching Weekend Mornings. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, and you just heard from the mother of Corey Ruiz, who talked about the devastation his family felt over his death. Fallout continues across Madison as the city mourns Ruiz, and the Department of Criminal Investigation is treating this as a homicide case. Throughout Friday, community members remained gathered at the intersection of Willie and Baldwin Streets, where Ruiz was killed. Now you can see in this video they've built a barrier out of bins and other items. Meanwhile, during a news conference, we also heard from Ruiz's family and the prominent civil rights attorney they've now retained, Ben Crump. We'll have more details on that coming up, but first, we're checking in now with meteorologist Jason Carlson. He's tracking a chance for some strong storms. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Michelle Renee. Yes, we have strong storms and heat back in the forecast. The nice weather is over. So Sunday into Monday, we're going to have dangerous heat. We're going to have heat feels like temperatures being up into those upper 90s here in Madison, but areas in western Wisconsin, they're under an extreme heat warning, and that's because their feels like temperatures could get up to 110 from Grant County all the way up to La Crosse and Eau Claire. You guys are all under that extreme heat warning for feels like temperatures well into those triple digits. So a very hot day coming our way on Sunday, and that's going to help to fuel some severe weather. A lot of us are in that scattered category for severe weather. We still are trying to figure out the exact location of where these storms will be, and some of us may miss out on storms, but that threat is there for Sunday. I'll have the complete update on those storms for Sunday and possibly for Monday coming up soon.
Thank you, Jason. Developments from last night as Madison mourns Corey Ruiz. So far, we've seen marching and protests starting at the scene of the incident. Several hundred people were there Friday evening marching to the police department, shouting justice for Corey, and eventually to the Capitol, chanting Black Lives Matter. Our crews out on the scene witnessed a confrontation between community members at the scene of Ruiz's death. A man in support of the Madison Police Department brought a sign displaying as such and got into an argument with others at the scene. Take a listen.
Just ignore him.
No, I'm not sick.
That's just ignore him. That's all you got to do. He wants that. That's what he wants. He wants engagement.
You.
Cut off the engagement. You're going to hurt him.
You want to deny my right.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not agitating.
That confrontation is a marker of just how intense discussions around the shooting have become. Now, we also heard from the family of Corey Ruiz, who hired prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump. At a news conference at the Capitol, Ruiz's family spoke about their son, father, and brother as a man who was not just troubled, but creative and kind. As our Maggie Degnan reports, they say they won't stop fighting until they get justice.
They took my baby from me. I never thought I would have to bury my baby before you buried me. And I would never.
That's the mother of Corey Ruiz, the man who died after an officer-involved shooting on Wednesday. She was joined by several other family members, including her granddaughter, Corey's 13-year-old daughter.
People, whoever is saying, oh, but he was a criminal. So what? He had a family. He had me.
Joining Ruiz's family, prominent civil rights lawyer Ben Crump. Crump made it a point several times to refer to Corey's death as an execution.
It was unnecessary, unjustified, and unconstitutional how they executed Corey Ruiz.
Crump says Ruiz had documented mental health issues and that police should have been able to de-escalate the situation. Crump also made note of the fact that Madison police officers don't currently have body cameras.
Thank God there was video.
Videos his family said they are replaying over and over again in their heads.
I wish I could see him one more time. I wish he could tell me how much he loves me one more time. He tried to do his best for me and his family.
Though the Wisconsin Department of Justice's Division of Criminal Investigation is conducting a homicide investigation into the death of Corey Ruiz, Crump says he's concerned about whether that will truly be an independent investigation. However that investigation goes, it'll lack body camera footage, and that's because the Madison Police Department doesn't have any. Keep it here because we'll have more on the conversation on body cameras and what local leaders are saying the next steps are coming up at 8:30. Now to a live look at the Capitol. President Trump attended take 2 of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. This after the April dinner abruptly ended when an armed assailant rushed through a security checkpoint. As CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette reports, the redo of the Correspondents' Dinner was held last night with no incidents or issues.
Good evening, everybody. Let's try this again.
The president of the White House Correspondents Association welcomed attendees to the group's annual dinner, first reminding the crowd what transpired 3 months ago.
Many of you were also with us in April. You came as guests, but within moments, you went to work.
Shots just outside the ballroom transformed the event into breaking news. A gunman, later identified as 31-year-old Cole Allen, sprinted past a Secret Service checkpoint, exchanging fire with an agent. He was arrested before reaching the ballroom and has pleaded not guilty to charges including the attempted assassination of President Trump. The rescheduled event was held at a different hotel, the Waldorf Astoria. Attendees say there was tightened security. The head of the Secret Service said earlier this week this was just another high-level event, always a potential threat.
We do expect bad people to show up. It's just a reality of where we are. But we're treating it no different than any other site that the president goes to.
President Trump addressed the journalists, administration officials, and other invited guests.
Just like my presidency, the second time is always better. It's always better. And the third time will be better yet. I'm only kidding.
The Secret Service agent who confronted the gunman was also recognized for his heroism. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Almost 700 people attended last night's dinner. Let's check in again now on your certified most accurate forecast. Jason has that. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle Renee. As you step outside today, it's a gorgeous day out there. It's 65 degrees out there at our Upland Hills Dodge Camp. But if you notice off in the distance, there is a little bit of that haze. We have some smoke back in the region, but it shouldn't reach the surface. It should be mostly aloft. So we're going to see that smoke filter on in throughout the day. So back in the smoke, but it should stay above the surface. Our air quality isn't forecasted to get into any of that unhealthy ranges like we have seen in the past. The smoke is from the West Coast, not Canada, so it has a lot farther to travel, and that's why it's higher up in our atmosphere. As you plan your day for Saturday, it's going to be mostly cloudy. We saw those clouds build in. They'll burn off as we get to this evening, reaching a high of 83, so a very pleasant Saturday. Looking at that feels like factor for Sunday, it's going to be hot out there, triple digits and upper 90s for many of us, but southwestern Wisconsin especially warm. And taking a peek at that 10-day, we have an alert day tomorrow for that heat and potential of storms. That heat and storms chance sticks around for Monday, and then going into next week, we got mid-80s and sunshine.
All right, so if you're headed out this weekend, it's today that you want to get outside because tomorrow it might be a little hot and not looking forward to all that, huh?
Today's your day, especially southwest Wisconsin. Feels like 105 plus, so today's your day.
Yeah, triple digits aren't for us. Thank you, Jason. Still ahead on Weekend Mornings, tips on how you can get your little picky eaters to try something new. That's coming up in our Time for Kids segment. And coming up in sports, we take you to the ice. What's next for the Badgers in men's hockey? But first, here are Friday's closing numbers. Ending the week on Wall Street, the Dow gains more than 235 points. The Nasdaq heads the other way, down 162 points. And the S&P 500 adds almost 4. It's Weekend Mornings. We'll be right back.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. A lot of parents know the struggle. Getting kids to try new foods can be a challenge. But one dietitian says picky eating is a normal part of child development, and there are ways to encourage healthier habits. From turning down vegetables to refusing to try something new, many children go through a picky eating phase. Madison DeMorit, registered dietitian with SSM Health Department of Weight Management, says parents should keep offering a variety of healthy foods, even if their child says no the first time.
Just like adults, we all have our food preferences, right? However, we do often see that we tend to grow or our food preferences tend to change often. So the key is really just to be patient, bringing them to the grocery store, maybe having them pick out a fruit or a vegetable that seems appealing, right? And then having them also prepare, if applicable, having them prepare that food with you.
DeMorit also says small changes can make a big difference, like changing how food is prepared, cutting it into fun shapes, or pairing it with a dip. She says parents should also lead by example, showing children that eating fruits and vegetables is part of everyday routine. Now, I'm almost positive I wasn't a picky eater growing up. I mean, I didn't really like mushrooms, but that was it. What about you?
I had my quirks. I always wanted plain burgers, everything plain. I hated tomatoes, but I finally started coming around on them, just the last few years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what do you have on your burgers now, though?
You got to get the onions, lettuce, tomato combo.
Oh, you went from nothing to everything.
Yeah, you get the works, like a burger sauce, not just ketchup. Ketchup doesn't cut it anymore.
Oh.
Like when you get like the mayo.
Okay, so they will be growing out of that picky eating phase. We have a prime example right here. So there you go.
They'll make it through. And we'll have to make it through Sunday and Monday this week. We got some rocky weather coming our way. But before then, we got a nice, pleasant Saturday coming our way. But as we go towards Sunday and Monday, alert day conditions return. We'll have alert day heat for Sunday and maybe Monday, as well as the shot for some severe storms Sunday night and into Monday morning. So that shot is pretty low, but if those storms do pop up, they'll be quite strong. So looking at those forecast highs, a lot of us up at 84, La Crosse 85, Eau Claire 84. So a very warm, pleasant, a mild day out there. So a great day out there to get out and enjoy whatever you want to do. But as we go towards Sunday, it gets downright hot. 99 for that feels like here in Madison, 96 Janesville, Platteville 106, Prairie du Chien 109, La Crosse 105. So a very hot Sunday coming your way when you combine that heat and that humidity that'll be out there. And that sticks around into the evening, and that's going to fuel the chance for some storms. So that's why you have an alert day possible for Sunday evening and Monday evening as well. And that's for those severe storms that are likely going to be very scattered, but they're going to bring the risk of especially wind. Wind is going to be that strongest concern with these storms, and any storm that pops up in this environment does have that chance to go severe with all that energy in play. Tracking this on Futurecast, we may see some storms try and develop tonight. We have a marginal risk of severe weather, but that may clip the southwestern parts of our viewing area. But for most of us, I'm expecting us to stay dry. These storms will likely struggle as we go into Sunday during the day. Here's those temperatures. It could get up to 97, those mid-90s out west. Here in Madison, we'll be peaking in those regular 90s. And then Monday, we see very small clusters of storms, but clusters of storms could develop anywhere across Wisconsin and then move southeast throughout the morning hours, Monday morning and Sunday in those kind of overnight hours. Looking at our drought conditions, we're kind of hoping for some rain as we've seen drought develop across the last few weeks. It's been very dry out there, so now 73% of us are in those drought conditions. Looking at that 10-day forecast for La Crosse, you guys have that very hot Sunday, 95 with heat and humidity as well. Then as you go through the rest of the week, you dry on out and see very nice temperatures. Similar story here in Madison. We have that nice Saturday, alert day possible for our Sunday for that heat could be up towards those triple digits for that feels like. Alert day possible for storms on Monday. And then as we go into the rest of this week, we dry out and we're going to see summery 80s coming our way. Now, here's your weekend morning sports fix.
And now, Weekend Morning Sports, brought to you by TDS.
Making it to the national championship game, Mike Hastings put Wisconsin men's hockey back on the map last season. And if you know Mike, just making it there isn't nearly enough. But the head coach says the foundation has been laid. He's fired up to get back in the Kohl Center come wintertime and start that climb back to the top of the mountain.
We all remember the last experience we had, and so we were at the final game of the entire season. Now we've got to go back and recognize what we've got to build to have an opportunity to get back there. Any sport that you touch here at the University of Wisconsin, there's an expectation of excellence. And so having those guys come in, walk on the bricks at the guys that have laid before us, and then try and continue to elevate it. But we're excited about the season.
Let's hoop. John Tonje, who spent his rookie NBA season with the Utah Jazz and Boston Celtics, is headed to Portland. After averaging 15 points per game in the Summer League, he joins a fellow former Badger, Micah Potter, with the Trailblazers. In the big national news yesterday from the NBA world, LeBron James shocked the basketball world, signing a 2-year contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. The 41-year-old is entering his 24th NBA season. If there is anything, and I mean anything, that'll make you optimistic about Wisconsin football in 2026, it's these two, Mason Posa and Cooper Catalano. As freshmen, the pair of linebackers were among the best in the country for their age, and this year they're ready to bring that Badger defense to another level. Luke Fickell says the duo, who combined for 114 tackles and 6.5 sacks a year ago, play the game the right way. And to make matters better, they're the best of friends.
It's been awesome with him, just becoming a leader with him, and, kind of going through every step of the process with him, playing our first games together, starting our first games together. Posta is definitely my best friend, do everything together.
Being roommates, we do, just kind of grow with each other. He's like my brother. And he's going to be the best man at my wedding someday, so he's definitely one of my best friends, and definitely being here and just rooming with him has grown immensely.
The Brewers did not skip a beat over the All-Star break. They returned by winning 5 of their first 6, and yesterday afternoon had a good chance to keep their winning ways alive, hosting the team with the worst record in Major League Baseball, the Colorado Rockies. But in baseball, you know the saying, on any given day, anything can happen. Trailing 4-1 in the 6th, and Bryce Durang gives the crew a boost, blasting his 15th homer of the season. But that would be the end of the Brewers' offense. They drop the series opener 5-2. And that is your morning sports fix. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Andrew. You too. Still ahead on Weekend Mornings, Jason is back with how hot we're getting tomorrow. And coming up in the next half hour, we hear from city leaders following the deadly police shooting of Corey Ruiz. Next steps and the conversation on body cameras. But first, your morning motivational quote today, that's from Taylor Swift. No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. Stick with us. We're back in a bit.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. In consumer news, new tariffs of up to 12.5% are now in effect on imports from 60 of America's trading partners, including China, the EU, Japan, and South Korea. The White House says those 60 countries have failed to do enough to keep goods made with forced labor out of their supply chains. Shoppers could see higher prices on everything from electronics and clothing to furniture, toys, home goods, and auto parts, though some products, including oil and gas, are exempt from the new tariffs. And a new Lending Tree survey finds 30% of Americans admit to shoplifting in the past year. That's up from 24% in 2024. 9 in 10 surveyed blame affordability issues and the economy. Food and drinks were the most commonly stolen items, followed by clothing and personal care products. It's 8:23 now. We are checking in with meteorologist Jason Carlson for a quick update on your weather. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Michelle Renee. We're looking at some smoke concerns starting to filter on into the region. It's looking like it'll stay above the surface, but do expect hazy skies developing throughout the day today. It should stay up there. It's from the West Coast fires from Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, not Canada, and that travel distance means it shouldn't impact our air quality too much. We should stay in that moderate air quality as opposed to that unhealthy air quality like we have been seeing recently. But what will go up is our dew points. It's going to feel almost oppressive out there as we go towards Sunday night and into Monday. We're going to have dew points in those 70s, and that's going to make our feels like temperatures really spike as we go towards tomorrow afternoon. Here in Madison, we could see those upper 90s 90s, and areas out west, Platteville, Prairie du Chien, could see 105 plus for those feels like temperatures. So a very hot day on the way tomorrow. So we have that hot day Sunday, hot day Monday with severe storm chances possible those days. If any storms get their act together, they could be strong with winds. And then as we go out towards next week, that dries out and we're going to see a nice summer pattern with mid 80s and sunshine.
All right, Jason, thank you. Now, the summer heat can take a toll on more than just your body. Mental health experts say hot weather, disrupted routines, and spending more time indoors can contribute to seasonal depression. They say anyone can be affected with warning signs including trouble sleeping, changes in appetite, and losing interest in activities you usually enjoy.
When it's really hot, we tend to stay by ourselves and stay alone. And so planning social activities, whether it be a family event or a friend gathering, could be really helpful to combat that isolation.
Experts say building a daily routine, staying connected with others, and getting outside during the coolest parts of the day can help protect your mental health. And behind me is a look outside our weather window. Jason is back with more on your forecast after the break, plus what officials are calling for in the wake of the deadly police shooting Wednesday. But first, here's a look at last night's winning numbers. It's Weekend Mornings. Keep it here. This morning, mounting concern among the community and officials about Madison's lack of body cameras, the history in the city, and next steps from city leaders.
And tracking alert day heat coming our way, as well as a chance for some storms for Sunday and Monday.
Plus, a man is now sentenced for a UTV crash that left one injured. We hear from the victim. Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. It's Saturday, July 25th. I'm your anchor, Michelle Renee Quinn.
And I'm meteorologist Jason Carlson.
And thanks for watching Weekend Mornings. Before we get to more on body cameras in Madison, Jason has been tracking your forecast. He's got what we need to know this morning. You're tracking an alert day.
Yeah, tracking an alert day for tomorrow. Today will be a fantastic day to get outside, but Sunday and Monday as well. We're done with those refreshing temperatures. We're back into that alert day for our heat. So we're going to see heat indices that feels like temperature nearing 100 here in Madison and going 105, 110 for areas of southwestern Wisconsin. Here's what that could look like. So pausing this at the hottest time of the day, Sunday afternoon, 99 here in Madison for that feels like Prairie du Chien 107. So it's going to be a very hot day on our Sunday. Take those heat risks and try and get outside today while you can before it's oppressive outside. And those heat indices are why we have this extreme heat warning for areas of southwestern Wisconsin up towards La Crosse and up towards Eau Claire. And they all could see those feels like temperatures reaching 110, but most of them will be up in those 105 ranges. All that heat and humidity is going to feel some storms for our Sunday. I'll have the latest on that storm threat for Sunday and Monday as well.
All right, Jason, thank you. This week, the Madison community faced a tragedy. Community members continue to mourn Corey Ruiz following a deadly officer-involved shooting Wednesday. Now, we do want to warn, the video you're about to see is graphic. This was sent in to us by a witness. Officials say an officer shot and killed a man armed with a knife. Police say 2 officers were injured, one by a knife, the other during the struggle. This is an open homicide, and the Wisconsin Department of Justice is leading the investigation. However, that investigation goes, it'll lack body camera footage. That's because the Madison Police Department doesn't have any. In the days following the shooting, officials and the Madison community are worried about the lack of them. Our police department is one of the largest in the nation without body cameras. The devices, however, aren't a new idea in Madison. They've been proposed several times over the past decade, including as recently as last year. So let's take a look at that. In 2014, an alder proposed a pilot program for body cameras. The police chief at the time, Mike Koval, claimed they could have a chilling effect on officers. Council members pushed back funding for the program until at least 2016. A year later, a pilot program was proposed again after the fatal shooting of 19-year-old Tony Robinson, not far from where Corey Ruiz was shot Wednesday. But back then, it was rejected by the Community Policing and Body Camera Ad Hoc Committee, citing privacy and footage manipulation concerns. 6 years later, in 2021, a feasibility committee recommended a pilot program once more. Now, this was voted to be implemented in 2022, then launched in 2024, but nothing official came of the 90-day trial. Then just last year in 2025, the Common Council voted down the budget amendment that would have funded the cameras, but defunded the Office of the Independent Police Monitor. Then as recently as June this year, Police Chief John Patterson pushed for body cameras to be included in the 2027 city budget. Now, after Ruiz's death, city leaders say funding for them will be included in the next budget.
My executive budget is not public yet, but I can tell you that when it becomes public, it will include a body-worn camera program for the city of Madison.
Common Council President Sabrina Madison says she's expecting funding for those body cameras to pass when it's brought up potentially unanimously. Our political reporter, Elio Liberté, sits down with Alder Madison this week on For the Record, and you can see that entire interview tomorrow at 10:30. Multiple prominent Wisconsin lawmakers and officials are weighing in on the shooting and commenting on the city's lack of body cameras. Congressman Pokans is calling for a swift and transparent investigation into what happened and why. He says he's seen the video, and while he's not ready to draw final conclusions, he says the public deserves answers quickly, not on what he calls a, quote, normal government timeline.
I can't tell from watching the video that I've seen, when was a knife taken out, what happened with the knife, did the taser work or not. It looks like the person was subdued before the shots happened, but I'm not a forensic expert at this point. We need that very, very quickly to know what happened.
Congressman Pokans says body cameras in the city would both protect officers and the public. Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin also weighing in on the shooting.
We are demanding full accountability, investigation, transparency, and justice. In Wisconsin, we respect the First Amendment and the right to be heard. There are many people who want to be heard at this moment, but we hope everyone expresses themselves in the Wisconsin way, peacefully.
Senator Baldwin also spoke about her history of working with local governments to get them federal funding for body cameras. Now, she says she looks forward to working with the city to move that process forward. In the meantime, Attorney General Josh Kaul is also commenting on the investigation. Kaul leads the Department of Justice, which oversees the Division of Criminal Investigation, which is handling the official investigation.
Because it's an ongoing matter, there's limited information we'll be providing as we move forward. But it's important for people to understand that at the end of this process, investigative records are made available to the public, and that we will update folks as we can, consistent with ensuring the investigation is conducted with integrity.
Republican Congressman and candidate for Governor Tom Tiffany also weighing in on the shooting, saying, quote, any loss of life is tragic and my prayers are with everyone involved. He went on to say we should allow that process to establish the facts without politicians rushing to judgment or stoking division. And local businesses on Willie Street are also responding to the shooting. Many feel Ruiz's death is too harrowing to stay silent. Nearby businesses closed early, shutting down and giving up their profits to stand with the Ruiz family. Out of those stores, Mad Cat closed by 5 in solidarity of the community. The Society of St. Vincent de Paul followed suit, closing its Willie Street location indefinitely.
The reason why we decided to do it was because we wanted to show support for the community, and one of the main things is getting people out there and helping make that difference. It's really great to see the community coming together, especially when there's a tragedy like this.
It's unclear how long the vigil will remain on Willie Street, but local businesses say they're committed to helping for as long as it takes. And the Atwood Fest, scheduled for this weekend, is now canceled. The heart of neighborhood needs healing. That's what Atwood Fest organizers are saying as they cancel the annual event. In their statement, festival organizers said canceling it was important to allow neighbors the chance to mourn and come together. The festival was set to be held today and tomorrow, with 3 stages featuring dozens of artists throughout the weekend. The festival area is located roughly a mile away from the shooting scene. And city officials are reiterating road closures on Williamson Street are to remain in place indefinitely. That's between South Dickinson Street and South View Street. City leaders say it's because they're continuing to assess the situation. Officials say the closures are necessary to help ensure community safety because of the ongoing public gatherings at the intersection. Drivers are being asked to avoid the area and use alternate routes. A signed detour directs traffic along 1st Street, East Washington Avenue, and South Ingersoll Street. The closures are also affecting public transit. Metro Transit routes C and 38 are detouring around portions of Willie Street and South Baldwin until the roads reopen. Around the Coulee region, United Airlines is delaying service from La Crosse Regional Airport to O'Hare. The service is now expected to start October of next year. They say it's due to operational limitations at O'Hare. The service was originally supposed to start in May. Let's check in now on your certified most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Jason Carlson has that this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle Renee. As you step outside, very comfortably got a temperature of 65. But we do have a blanket of clouds and a little bit of smoke out there. That air quality is still fine, but those skies will be hazy. We'll see those clouds slowly burn off throughout the day. But for now, we're going to stay cloudy till around 3 is when those clouds start to break up before we reach our high temperature of 83 today as we go into those evening hours. But a very pleasant summer day to be outside. So get out there and enjoy it today because we have an alert day. For tomorrow due to the heat. We also have an alert day possible because of severe thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin for Sunday evening and Monday evening as well. And the risks that could be with these storms, the biggest risk is going to be wind gusts, especially if these storms form into a line, but we're still not sure where and when these storms will track exactly. All of the latest Futurecast update coming up soon on this potential severe weather for Sunday and Monday as well.
All right, thank you, Jason. It's so important to take these risks seriously because that wind is just as risky as those tornadoes sometimes.
Yeah, we're tracking these storms might not form, but if they do, they'll have the potential to create those strong storms. So watching out for that.
We'll stay updated with our First Warn weather app. Thanks, Jason. Still ahead on weekend mornings, the sentencing for the La Crosse man who seriously injured a woman while driving a UTV. But first, your morning motivational quote today is from Taylor Swift. No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. We'll be right back on weekend mornings with a look at your full forecast.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. A Westby man is sentenced for a UTV crash that left one woman seriously injured. News 8 Now's Jadius McGee reports Mitchell McKittrick is now sentenced to 6 years of probation, including a condition to spend 8 months in the Vernon County Jail.
McKittrick pled guilty to first-degree recklessly endangering safety after investigators say he hit a woman with a UTV near Westby in February of 2024. Prosecutors say he then called his friend Robert Purvis to help drag the victim to the side of the road before fleeing the scene.
No person deserves to be left at the side of the road near death because you're too scared to call 911 for your own selfish reasons.
The victim also addressed the court, describing the physical and emotional toll of her recovery after the crash.
I spent 6 weeks in the hospital, the first half of which I was largely ill and unable to care for myself. On top of being homeless, I was having anxiety attacks, hallucinations at night, fear, and immense pain. I have never felt so inadequate in my life than during this time of testing my adult body on tasks most adults can accomplish easily.
If his probation is revoked, he'll spend 4 years in state prison, followed by 4 years of extended supervision.
Purvis is charged with first-degree endangering safety and failure to report a crime involving bodily harm. He has a jury trial set for November in Vernon County. And we are bringing back meteorologist Jason Carlson. He's got your full forecast this morning. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Michelle Renee. We got a good forecast for today, but as we go towards Sunday and Monday, it gets hot, and then we have the chance at some severe storms Sunday night into Monday morning, as well as again on your Monday night. So a very busy weekend weather-wise, but today out there, it's going to be very calm, very pleasant. 84 degrees here in Madison, 84 at the Dells, 85 up in La Crosse, and 86 up in Eau Claire, our warmest, and that's just above our average high of 82 for this time of year. But we'll be well above average as we go towards Sunday. Sunday is when it gets real hot. We'll have dew points in those mid-70s, temperatures in those 90s, so Madison may get to 100 for that feels like temperature out west. That's where they get real hot. Prairie du Chien, 110, La Crosse 105. So going to be an oppressive day, especially for southwest Wisconsin going into our Sunday. And then it cools off going into the night, and that's what could help those storms develop, and that's why we have an alert day possible. So we have that alert day heat during the day Sunday, and then Sunday evening we could have severe storms that go into Monday morning as well. And then we have another round possible going into our Monday evening. The risks with that are going to be, the strongest risk is going to be wind, but tornadoes and hail are also possible with these storms, especially right when they develop before they form into a line. So watching that, but not everyone's going to get storms. We're going to see little pockets of storms develop and move very quickly off to the south and east. So maybe this morning or tomorrow morning you could get clipped Prairie du Chien, Platteville, and areas off towards Eau Claire, reaching those highs tomorrow. 97 out in La Crosse, a very warm one. 91 for that high here in Madison. And then you'll see these storms are very spotty. They're pulsy, so we don't know when exactly they'll go up, where exactly they'll go up, but we know a few storms will be across the region on Monday, and with all that heat and humidity, there's wind energy in play too. Those storms could be strong wherever they do form, so it's another could be strong storms, could be nothing, so watch out for that as we go towards Sunday and Monday. And here, we're probably rooting for that rain. Hopefully we don't have those severe storms, but we do need some rain. 73% of Wisconsin is in that dry drought condition, so very dry across the state. We do want some rain. Looking at that 10-day in La Crosse, very hot tomorrow, 95. That's just the temperature when you factor in that dew point. 105 for that feels like. And then for Madison, we have that alert day for Sunday, alert day possible Monday for heat and storms. And then going into next week, we got a nice summer pattern, very dry. We'll see temperatures in those mid-80s and a lot of sunshine.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Jason. In my weekend morning consumer report, the trade dispute between Canada and the U.S. continues to escalate this week after a new 50% tariff was imposed Monday. President Trump is using a 1930 trade law to impose the tariff. The law allows a president to tariff goods up to 50% without congressional approval when a country is believed to be discriminating against American goods. However, the law has never been applied this way. The White House says the added import taxes are in response to Canada's tariffs on U.S. auto products and goods last year. However, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney argues those duties were imposed to match the Trump administration's previous tariffs on Canadian goods. The new tariffs begin in less than a month on certain Canadian electronics, hockey equipment, jewelry, and some other goods which are on your screen now. Tariffs on Canadian beer, wine, liquor, and milk are also being imposed in response to Canadian boycotts of U.S. alcohol following tariffs and longstanding Canadian quotas on dairy imports. Now, those begin on August 19th, and both nations have agreed to negotiations. We'll be right back on Weekend Mornings, but first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, let us know. We'd love to wish them a happy birthday and share their picture on TV. Keep it here.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. We're checking in now with meteorologist Jason Carlson live from our studio in Madison for a quick update. He's got our 3 things to know.
Yeah, we got good news for today. We got pleasant weather coming our way, but as we go towards Sunday, Monday, and well as Sunday night, we could see hot weather, humid weather, and severe storms. So get out there and enjoy it today, folks. We may see some smoke out there today, though. It's not going to be near the surface. We won't have to be dealing with that bad air quality, but there will definitely be a haze in that sky today, especially once those clouds do end up clearing out later on this afternoon. That may make for a very nice sunset, though, if that smoke brings out the reds out there. Looking at that muggy meter, it's going to get very humid as we work towards Sunday and Monday as well. We're going to be up in that oppressive range. That's why we're going to see 90-degree temperatures, but they're going to feel like triple digits for Sunday and maybe Monday as well. So we have alert day heat Sunday, alert day possible for Monday as we track what those storms do Sunday. Could knock our temperatures down for Monday. Our feels like temperatures tomorrow, though, here in Madison, we're going to be up in those mid to upper 90s at 97 at 4 o'clock. So take those heat precautions, bring extra water, take extra breaks in the shade if you're going to do anything like that outside. And if you're going to exercise tomorrow morning, get it in bright and early. Looking at that 10-day, your nice Saturday, you'll wear hot Sunday and Monday with storms possible both days as well. But once we get past that, it's going to stay very dry going into the end of the next week, which is not good for our drought. Our drought will likely get worse as we push into next week. But if you like the pool, next week's looking fantastic. Sunny and temperatures in those upper 80s. All
right, next week it is. Thanks, Jason. Heat waves aren't just hard on people. Research Researchers say they're putting the beloved bumblebee at risk. Now, its thick coat helps it thrive in colder weather, but that fuzz can be a burden when temperatures soar. Scientists say if you find a bumblebee struggling in the heat, there's a simple way to give it a boost.
Just some sugar that you'd use on breakfast cereal and a bit of water to dissolve it, and then hold that in front of the bee, and if it sticks its proboscis out and drinks from it, that will give it the energy to carry on with what it was doing before.
Experts say stick with sugar water and skip the honey, since it can spread viruses between bees, and letting parts of your yard grow will also give the pollinators more food during hot, dry weather. And we're not done with Weekend Mornings just yet. Keep it here. We're back after the break with today's playlist pick, and my information is on your screen now, so you know what to do with it. We'll be right back.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. When I was field anchoring this week at Concerts on the Square, I met a family and a little girl put in a little song request. So this is for the family I met on Wednesday, and I'm no pianist, but I can play it on Weekend Mornings.
I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones, enough to make my system blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age.
You're listening to Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. Create a weekend playlist with us by sending me a song with the subject playlist pick to mrquinn at WISC-TV.com and tune in on Weekend Mornings to hear your song. And finally this morning, if you're scared of heights, this might be your new nightmare. Jason, are you afraid of heights?
Not much, but being that high would get me.
Yeah, this is literally 130 feet, and this maintenance worker got stuck in one of those signs while he was doing maintenance work because the lift malfunctioned. So he was rescued and he seemed to be okay. Didn't bother him too much, but yeah, I can't imagine.
That's like claustrophobic too. You're stuck in the sign and up there?
Right, it's a little scary.
No.
Well, let's get a quick check on that last 10-day.
Yeah, we got alert day heat coming up for Sunday and possibly Monday as well. Feels like temperatures going to be well into those triple digits, especially for western Wisconsin. So looking at that forecast, hot Sunday, Monday, as well as an isolated chance for some severe storms both of those days, and then it dries out. Going into next week, we'll see some 80s.
Thanks for watching Weekend Mornings. Up next is Lucky Dog Reunions. Our next newscast is coming up at 6 p.m.
And you can find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.